Hi, Cozy Adventurers. I am starting my first week of cozy, spicy, like warm, cozy, spicy fragrances for these upcoming fall and winter holidays. And I thought I'd start with comparing Angel Share with part of my Bath & Body Works haul that I made in the recent sales. And one part of it is this Inner Angel. I think I've talked about all the other ones, but I haven't really talked about this one yet. The Inner Angel lotion, body spray, and perfume. So I layered those today, and I sprayed the real Angel Share on my shoulders so I could compare. And I did this like 4 hours ago. And this is where my arms and my hands is where I put the Inner Angel. And the scent is definitely still there. And Angel Share I put on my shoulders. And that's definitely a stronger scent. What I'll say is that they smelled more similar than I was imagining they would, because the Angel Share to me has a much more obvious apple note, which I don't think Angel Share even lists an apple note. I should have looked it up before I started this, but I think people talk about it being like apple pie, but I don't think it's actually very appley. It has a strong spice and this is the real Angel Share, strong spice and strong cognac that just like blast my senses when I first put it on. And then 4 hours later, it still smells like strong to me, but not bad strong. It's strong cognac and spice and like warming spices, which, cinnamon and clove and all of those good, yummy spices. But when it first sprays, I can't even quite smell the spices because it's so strong and it kind of blasts my nose with intensity. Kind of like, when you take a sip of cognac or some strong liquor and you're like, ooh, it's like that, but of the nose. But the Angel Share never has that strong blast. The alcohol smell, which is an apple cognac, smells like like if you had a flavoring that you're adding to cookies that smells like that. So back to Inner Angel versus Angel Share, the Bath & Body Works and the Kilian's Angel Share. Yeah, I have a sample of it. I don't think I would ever buy a whole bottle of Kilian's Angel Share unless my schnoz changes how it picks up the scent, because it's just too overwhelming. So it's nice to have different options that bring up that same amazing cozy boozy scent profile without blasting my senses. And I would say that's what Inner Angel does. It is that spiced apple pie with like a teaspoon or a half teaspoon of an extract of apple cognac. So it doesn't smell like the actual apple cognac, it smells like a flavoring of apple cognac. So it doesn't have that burning sensation. But yeah, it's so good. And it also has tonka bean and warm praline. So it has this cozy, sweet, kind of vanillic, lovely smell. And it'll go back and forth on my skin or to my nose of having some apple more at the top or smelling more of a vanilla, like the tonka bean part. Now after 4 hours, I really do just get it does smell like apple pie, like a cognac flavored apple pie. It does not smell like apple pie without any liqueur taste added. So if someone just says it smells like apple pie, I think that's not true. But if it's an apple pie that has a boozy sensibility, then it is what this smells like. Anyway, I really recommend it. I think both for you and for people that you're around, if they're sensitive, this is actually a better option for you than the Real Angel Share. And I have a ton of other samples of different schmoops of Angel Share and inspired buys, the Kamras, but like a whole bunch of other ones, mostly Middle Eastern, to go through this month that I'll be testing out and sharing with you my impressions and picking out my favorites of. So stay tuned for that, and like and subscribe if you want to see more. Hi, Cozy Adventures. So I was getting out my sweet, spicy, warm perfumes to decide what to test today. And I picked out Grand Soir, which I just got this week. And so I hadn't tried it at all yet. And was thinking that it was in the spicy, warm, spicy perfume category, but I put it on and I was like, wait, why does this smell kind of like Mon Guerlain? And it turns out it is a vanilla lavender. The lavender kind of fades away pretty quickly, or at least a couple hours into it. It's also really ambery. It's super strong, and the amber in it and the ambroxan, I think, both have a spiciness. So it's a spicy vanilla. It's got a little bit of that root beer, cream soda, birch beer kind of smell to it too. It's thick. There's something kind of animalic, I think, in it. That's sexy, but also kind of could be overwhelming. Depending on your taste. And now I've had it on for 8.5 hours or longer, and it's almost a skin scent, but I can still smell it like with some distance from my hand. It still wafts around, and I just used, I think, 2 sprays of it. So I still have a scent bubble, and I'm probably a little bit desensitized to it, so other people might smell it more than I do at this point. It's faded down to mostly a spicy, sort of root beery kind of amber vanilla. So I wonder if it gets compared to the one that everyone's talking about right now, the one that Vanilla Aura is duping. Planifolia. Vanille Planifolia by Guerlain. Because it does have that spicy. Like, I wonder if it's kind of like a mix between Mon Guerlain with the lavender and Vanille Planifolia with the sort of root beer spiciness kind of vanilla. But somehow it really matches its name, Grand Soir, and has this sense of like I would want to be at a big ballroom if I was wearing it. Continuing with my thoughts on Grand Soir, by Francis Kurkdjian. I can't remember how his name is said. Yeah, I tried it for the first time today and discovered, I thought I was getting like a spicier, like a warming spice kind of thing, but it's more of a vanilla with a amber spice to it. Really strong. Feel like it's like a big, like wearing a formal attire kind of event perfume for me. It is really strong. It has big sillage. It lasts a long time. It projects a lot. And it also has a little bit of a more masculine vibe, and I don't really know why to me, because I like a lot of masculine perfumes don't feel that masculine to me. They feel like, oh, that's for me. And this feels like I could wear it, but I would want to be like sort of dressed to the nines and going out to some like big open space, not a super intimate space. Whereas the Guerlain perfumes that I was comparing it to, like as if it were a mix between Mon Guerlain and Vanille Planifolia, because it has the spicy and it starts with some lavender and intense vanilla. There's something about it that has this sort of more animalic masculinity that feels borderline kind of overwhelming, or not quite like it's my smell. I mean, it could be, but it would be a dressing up smell. It wouldn't be like an intimate, like normal day at home kind of smell for me usually. What else do I want to say? Oh, for some reason, if I imagine a more masculine person wearing it, I think that it could be more of a regular date night. It wouldn't have to be such a big event, but it probably still wouldn't be like a casual wear. It would be going on a nice date. And yeah, so it has that, it's like, it is a kind of, it could be in the warm womanly vanilla category, but for me it has a little bit more masculine edge. And it also is in the warm spicy category, but is leaning more on the vanilla than the spice. It's not like cinnamony or anything like that. But I'm happy to have it, and it's actually not a decant, it's just a small size of the actual perfume, which is nice for me because so often I'm just using little decants of things. And it'll be a fun special occasion perfume for me. Oh, and I wanted to add that I put a little bit of Gucci Pour Homme 2003, my tiny bit of amount that I have that's so precious, on my shoulders earlier today, because there was something about Grand Soir that reminded me of it, because I think it does have a similarly sort of like dense, decadent, spicy thing going, ambery thing going on. But it has a little bit of vanilla in it, but it's not, vanilla is not the star, and it's a lot less sweet, which actually I prefer it for some reason with this blend of ingredients and sort of this sort of density and intensity. I prefer it to be a little less sweet. But they do feel like they could be in the same family of fragrances. Like they'd be like an uncle. Grand Soir would be a really cool, elegant uncle who's also boisterous and kind of sexy. And this is, the Gucci Pour Homme is you and you have your uncle. Yeah, I still get intoxicated by this smell, the Gucci Pour Homme. And for some reason it doesn't hook me in a particular way where I get intoxicated by perfumes. The Grand Soir doesn't intoxicate me, but I do enjoy it. I can see why other people would find it intoxicating. And I think maybe on a more masculine person, I might find it more intoxicating. And I don't know why, I can't tell you, but that's what I think. Even though perfumes have no gender, that's what I think. Hi, Cozy Adventures. So I'm gonna get back into the sweet, spicy, Angel Share-esque fragrances that I have. I have a ton. Some of them are more or less like Angel Share. Some are more different kind of boozy, but they're all spicy. I think I must have like 20 different fragrances to go through with that, or more. And I'm gonna get back into those in December, which is next week. But this week, since it's a holiday week, I thought I would show you a few gift ideas, inexpensive gift ideas that I picked up that I recommend. They're all under $50. A lot of them are under $15. Let's see. So I'll start with the most expensive thing I got, I think, and that is this Lush pack of sticky dates. Where is it? It came with a shower gel, that I can't find. Here we go. Shower gel and a lotion. And as I shared before, I figured out that I love sticky dates mixed with Cheirosa 59, the Sol de Janeiro fragrance. So I also got this little pack that I think is on sale. It says Jet Set. And it's on sale, I think, at Ulta. That's where I got it. And at some point it's going to be on sale at Sephora. It might be on sale on Amazon too. So a good time to buy it. And it comes with a shower oil, a nice thick cream, drench cream, and a body spray, all in that Cheirosa 59 scent. And you know, my suggestion is to layer these things and these things. So you could get someone or yourself the gift of both of these packs and try the layering and see if it's as delicious to you too. Next, I think I have, another on the more expensive side is this little Lancome gift set. And you get tiny little, they're about, I put them away, but they're like about this big, La Vie Belle and La Vie Belle Vanille Nude perfumes. And they have those beautiful little scarves on them, and I think they're worth it. I got it for less than $29 from Macy's. So Cozy Adventure is the next gift sets that I want to show you, or inexpensive gift ideas for you. Are Bodycology fragrances. So I picked up this cute gingerbread cookie spray and lotion with the cozy socks, and I really liked it. The actual lotion I don't like that much. I think I just don't like Bodycology lotion very much, or just a lot of cheap scented lotions I don't like, but it still works well with layering with the spray fragrance. It just has some background sort of chemically smell that I don't love. Or it might not even be a chemical smell, and it might just be some other non-chemical smell in the lotion they make. But the spray, I was excited by. I was kind of surprised. It doesn't have a dense gingery smell. It's not a super gingery, not a strong gingery smell, not a molassesy or super spiced. It's more like a yummy spiced cookie than a gingerbread cookie. But I like that better often in fragrances because it can get too dense smelling for me and smell more like a candle sometimes when they try to replicate real like gingerbread smell. So it's warm and yummy and sort of vanillic. Let's see if they put notes on here. It just says cinnamon, vanilla, and ginger. And yeah, it smells like cinnamon, vanilla, and ginger. Not so much exactly like a gingerbread cookie, but still warm cinnamon, vanilla, ginger, cozy. So I recommend this little set. It's very cute and inexpensive right now, I think through Walmart. And then this I've had, Cozy Fireside S'mores by Bodycology, and I like. And this is great for layering by the fireside or fireplace. I never can remember which one it is, the perfume. It brings out more of the chocolate and toasted marshmallow smell. So if you want to heighten up the sweet smells in that perfume, this is a great layering. Or if you just want to smell like cozy s'more smell, this is good. It's got sandalwood that kind of grounds it, and marshmallow and a little bit of milk chocolate. And there's a little set for this too, so I recommend that. And then I picked up this little guy because I was just too attracted to not pick it up. and it is Christmas in Paradise with coconut, and it's very cute. And it says tropical mistletoe kisses under palm trees and twinkling lights. And yeah, it smells like more of a like freshy tropical body spray, but I thought it was a nice gift for someone who maybe wants a nice like holiday themed gift but lives somewhere warm, you know, during this time of year. And I'll take it out for Christmas in July, maybe. That's my plan for that one. And the last one that I got, and this was the main one that I was meaning to get, and then I added these couple of these other things to my cart, as one does. So this is Memoir Iced Macaron, and it's only $5, and it comes with a little lotion and a little perfume. And I have a macaron perfume from Dua brand that I love the smell of, but am allergic to because Duas are just too strong for me or have a chemical in them I can't tolerate. So I really wanted a macaron fragrance. And this lotion, like the Bodycology lotions, it still has like a smell that I don't love, like a chemical smell. Let's see. I smell it a little less in this one. It has a stronger fragrance of cookie. Strong cookies fragrance with a little chemical smell. So I wouldn't recommend this lotion on its own, but again, layered with the fragrance, it just magnifies the fragrance and works really well. And the fragrance is a nice like almond macaron pastel cookie smell that I was looking for. Iced macaron. Let's do that again. Yeah, I don't love it, but I think it'll be a nice layering thing to still be able to get that macaron flavor onto my body, even though I can't use the Dua. Like maybe I would add Bianco Latte or one of those inspired fragrances to add some more sweetness, but this gets the cookie part down. Hi Cozy Adventures. This is Jessica Joy with her baby Lucy, who's cold and wearing a sweater. And we want to tell you what we think. I'll stop saying we. I want to tell you what I think of Commodity Milk and Commodity Milk Plus, or whatever it's called. Commodity Milk Bold. Commodity Milk Expressive and Commodity Milk Bold, I think is how people talk about them. And then some related fragrances. So I tried them on today for the first time, and I've been so curious because they're often included in cozy, warm, sweet, spicy scent lists and recommendations. But I had tried Intimate Silhouette by Christian Siriano. I have a decant of that and loved it immediately, but in its deep dry down it leaves a like sort of an aftertaste, but it's an after scent that I don't like on me and on my clothes and bedding and stuff, and that part bothers me even more because that lasts so long. So I was so excited about this before I experienced the deep dry down. I was so like, whoa, I found a new DNA that I love, and I was seeing that people were saying that it's very similar to Commodity Milk. I think it came before Commodity Milk, actually. Might be wrong about that, but that's what I am remembering. So there's that, and I had tried Lattafa's Artisan Ethnique, which also even more I loved because it has a good dose of Tonka coumarin in it that I love, that makes me feel enveloped. And I was like, yeah, I have another like sleeping perfume that makes me feel like in a cocoon, but with the spiciness. But that also has that dry down that I don't like. And then there are a couple other Bath and Body Works fragrances that I would like, except for of that it has, I think, a little more subtle than some of these other ones. It has this in the dry down, the Infinite Radiance and the Touch of Gold, where yeah, I really like them. And then there's just this leftover kind of weird spicy after smell that I don't like. And I love spicy, but it's a particular kind of spicy that I don't like. It smells kind of dark and dirty almost, like yeah, just not of light, of any sort of lightness, and it takes forever to dissipate and it sticks to your clothes and sheets. So if you're sensitive to this particular smell, you might have the same concerns as me. So back to Commodity Milk Expressive and Commodity Milk Bold. Yeah, since I had already read about people's responses to Intimate Silhouette by Christian Siriano, I was not surprised that it had that smell, and I was actually waiting for a day which would be my last day of shooting in this sweater, so I wouldn't retain the smell to do more videos for the week. Because what I do is I pick a shirt to be my costume for the week, so I can keep all those videos for 1 week in the same, like, easy to find visual look by having the same shirt. So anyway, today is the day that I both am finishing my shoots for the week in this sweater, and I am going to be changing my bedding and taking a thorough shower, including washing hair and all of that stuff, because I knew. So yeah, pretty much the regular Commodity Milk Expressive does have more of the coumarin aspect, along with the sort of ambery spiciness that I really love, that coumarin. So I like it more. And Commodity Milk Bold doesn't even list coumarin or tonka bean, but I imagine it still has a little bit of it. I could get like little wafts of it with this one, but it's definitely more buried in the mix with the Bold, and then the sort of darker ambery or woody, I'm not sure what it is, but whatever the smell is that I don't like that's in all of these perfumes I'm talking about, it's stronger in this one. So unfortunately, even though there's aspects to them that I really like, they're just not for me. And same with Intimate Silhouette. On the other hand, if you love Commodity Milk, check out Intimate Silhouette, because I think it's even more, I don't know, there's something even more kind of sexy to me, warm and sexy about Intimate Silhouette, but it does have that same dry down. I'll say also Commodity Milk Orchid. For me, because I'm sensitive to this particular scent, I could smell that same scent in the dry down. So I imagine somewhere in Commodity Milk Orchid, they have the Commodity Milk DNA in it, even though it's not in the notes. It probably has a sort of baseline of having commodity milk underneath the primary notes of Commodity Milk Orchid. So yeah, which is a much more fresh and floral and milky scent, but yeah, still has that dark ambery dry down that I don't like so much. But if you like it, then you'll love that. Hi Cozy Adventurers. So I wanted to talk with you about coumarin or coumarin, or tonka bean, which is all kind of part of the same thing. Coumarin is an element that's in tonka bean, that's sourced from tonka bean, or is like the chemical makeup of it, I think, is from tonka bean. It's also something that's in cinnamon, but it doesn't smell cinnamony. It smells vanillic a lot of the time. It can smell like slightly almondy. It gives this feeling of being enveloped, and it's included in a lot of more vanilla perfumes. I think it has a warm, enveloping feeling, like a cozy feeling, but it also has a coolness to it. So lots of times it'll be added to something that's meant to smell like a vanilla ice cream, or it makes things smell like a vanilla ice cream. And I saw someone this week talk about how coumarin is brings up a psychological thing in us that helps us file away positive memories. And that sounds like a perfect thing to wear to a Friendsgiving, where you want to feel this enveloping sense of loving and being loved and being with a warm, comforting crowd, and you want to bring a warm, comforting scent. These coumarin heavy fragrances would be a good idea. So my top 3 are Bianco Latte, Blanche Bête, and Mon Guerlain or Mon Guerlain Intense. All 3 of those are sort of favorites that I'm gonna keep on as primary scents that I keep returning to. And I think a big reason is the coumarin, because it just makes me feel so cozy and loved even when I'm just by myself. So even if you're not going to any sort of Friendsgiving event or some such, you can envelop yourself with one of these. And I have a new house that I realized works really well for me and my allergies, and that is Cotton Candy Cake Shop on Etsy. Cotton Candy Cake Shop, and they do some creations of their own, but do a lot of dupes. And both their Bianca latte and their Moon Milk work beautifully for me for giving me the feeling that I want to get from those 2 fragrances, from Blanche Bête and Bianco Latte. For those who don't know what Bianco Latte or Blanche Bête or Mon Guerlain are like, Bianco Latte, a lot of people smell more caramely, creamy. I smell not so much caramel, but a cold, sweet milk or the froth from a latte, something kind of light, but it's light and intense at the same time. So I get this sense of lightness and coolness, but also this thick, enveloping feeling with this vanilla and tonka smell, and with maybe a little bit of caramely, but not like a caramel sauce or a butterscotch or anything like that. It's subtle for me if there's caramel, maybe caramelized to something in there, but yeah. And it's like a non-fat milk rather than a whole fat milk for me, which I like for a sleeping fragrance. And both Bianco Latte and Blanche Bête are my 2 favorite sleeping fragrances that I've found. Blanche Bête is a Flormond. It is more floral, but still milky and sweet, and just has this sort of magical element to it that's hard to describe. And they even put a note in it called mystical and often the image for that note is a unicorn. So it's a good scent for unicorns who are sleepy and want to be in a nice enveloping feeling. And so yeah, and for the fragrance company I was talking about for the dupes, it's called Hey Sugar Fragrance Company, and then on Etsy it's Cotton Candy Cake Shop. So you can look it up by looking for Hey Sugar fragrances, or look up on Etsy Cotton Candy Cake Shop. And the Blanche Bête is called Moon Milk. The Bianco Latte is Bianca Latte, which will be obvious for you. I have not found anything that's really like Mon Guerlain. It is a lavender vanilla, and Guerlain is famous for their thick, complex vanilla that is not quite edible, but also not super perfumey at the same time. It's just its own thing. It's this like beautiful, heavy, womanly vanilla in my experience of it. And so it's got that heavy, womanly vanilla. It has a sweet but strong lavender, and it has the coumarin giving it that enveloping feeling. And then 3 coumarin fragrances that I love initially, but I don't like the dry down for, but you may love, are Commodity Milk Expressive, the original Commodity Milk, Intimate Silhouette by Christian Siriano, and Artisan Ethnique by Lattafa. And all three of them are spicy, somewhat vanillic, ambery smells. Artisan Ethnique actually is less ambery smelling to me than some people have suggested, that it smells like a powdered donut with cinnamon, and I think that makes sense to me. It has a like very powdered sweetness, not like baby powder or body powder, but like a powdered sugar. It has that cool smell to it that I get from Bianco Latte, and somewhat from Blanche Bette. There's sort of a coolness to it, which I think the powdered sugar smell gives off. And yeah, like if I think about it, if people suggest it, it does have a little bit of like a savory donut thing going on underneath it. I think Sugar Addict is the perfume people are suggesting it smells the most like, and I really love that one. It just has a dry down. All three of these have a dry down that and I've already talked about it earlier in my week, but there's some sort of dry down that is heavy with spice that stays like it sticks to my clothes and it sticks to my skin, and the sweetness kind of dissipates and it just has this heavy, dry spice to it that feels kind of oppressing and masculine to me. But I know a lot of people probably don't experience that, so check them out, because yeah, if you like Commodity Milk, if that's one you've tried, definitely look into Intimate Silhouette by Christian Siriano, which I think is even better, and Artisan Ethnique, which is delicious, spicy coumarin bomb. Hi Cozy Adventures, I'm tying up November, highlighting 4 DNAs that were, if not new to me, I hadn't spent enough time to get to know them, and that have become favorites now of mine that I would keep on as signature fragrances for different aspects of life, I'll say. And they're all vanillas. There's a pretty one, there's a beautiful one, there's a gorgeous one, and there's a dreamy one. So the pretty one is Wedding Silk Santal, which is a Kayali, and I do have 2 dupes or schmoops, the Paris Corner Care Felicity and the Silk Santal by Hey Sugar. And though these are both good, I prefer for that one the original. There's just something particularly like delicate about it that I don't think the schmoops quite get for me, but if you are less sensitive than I am to like tiny differences, they're probably great. These schmoops are great for you. Also, Paris Corner is one of the Middle Eastern houses that I am hypersensitive to with allergies, so that's another reason why. The next one is Burberry Goddess. That's the beautiful one, and it feels a little bit more grown up to me and sort of a glamorous goddessy grown-up woman vanilla. And before I'd sniffed them briefly, but I didn't understand why people called it a vanilla, because I smelled the ginger and the lavender so strongly on them. But spending more time with them, especially Goddess, also they've been sitting for a couple months now and maturing. Goddess turned into more of a vanilla pretty quickly, like after an hour or so. Angam, I will say, has a nice strong vanilla from the beginning, but it doesn't really lose its ginger and lavender as much, and for that reason feels a little bit more formal to me, and also because it's a Lattafa and I'm allergic to how wonderfully well performing and strong they are, or some sort of additive in it, so I can't really use and gum, like I can use the original, so I'm gonna go for the original Goddess for that one too. But the Schmoop smells beautiful, and I, along with, you know, everyone else, you know, recommend it. Hi, Cozy Adventures. So I am wrapping up the month of November with my top 4 favorite new to me DNAs that I really explored with some depth and fell in love with this month. I picked out a pretty one, a beautiful one, a gorgeous one, and a dreamy one. And they're all vanillic fragrances. I just did a short for the first 2, and now we're on to gorgeous and dreamy. So for gorgeous, the DNA that I fell in love with is Guerlain vanillas. So not even a particular fragrance, but that I've heard people talk about it before, and I just hadn't really fully had the experience yet. And that is that Guerlain makes these gorgeous, depthful, not quite edible, but thick vanillas with some complexity. It feels womanly, it feels addictive, it makes me feel kind of warm and blushy, without it feeling like particularly flirty or sexual exactly. But yeah, both in Mon Guerlain Intense and Double Vanille, the Spiritueux Double Vanille that I tried, in different ways, because they're not exactly the same vanilla, or there might be some of the same vanilla, but there's definitely differences in different elements of those fragrances. But yeah, they both have this a very signature, what I'm understanding is a signature Guerlain vanilla scent that is now a DNA that I love, that I haven't found a good comparison to. And then the last one is Blanche Bette, which is my new favorite sleeping fragrance. It's definitely a big coumarin one, so it gives that enveloping cocoon of sweetness that coumarin brings. And it's a Flormand, so it's like both this sweet, milky fragrance and has this floral thing mixed in, and has this mystical thing, and it literally says that one of its notes is mystical, with a unicorn listing its notes. So, and it smells like that. It has this weird kind of otherworldly magical smell for those of us that love it. And I've liked all the Schmoops that I've smelled of it. There's Lattafa's Her Confession. There is the Lacti Divina, that's Paris Corner. And then Moon Milk from the shop that I've been hyping in these videos lately, Cotton Candy Cake Shop, which is their brand is something about sugar. Let's see. Hey Sugar is the brand. So yeah, those are my new favorites. A dreamy one, a gorgeous one, a beautiful one, and a very pretty one. And I really recommend them for all of you if you want to check them out. One last thing that I want to tell you is to give you a preview of December and what we're going to get into. So we're going to go through so many different Angel Share inspired fragrances and various spicy and sweet and alcoholic beverage smelling fragrances. So I'll do all 3 of the Camras, and I'll do a in-depth exploration of those in comparison. I actually wanted to do those this week, but I am allergic to the Lattafa ones. I get a sore throat a lot of the time if I'm not really careful, and spray them when I'm outside and only use a tiny bit, and all of that stuff. I get a sore throat really quickly. So I haven't done it yet because I'm having a special birthday party and Friendsgiving and all holidays party this weekend, and I really want to feel well for it. So, but I'm going to sacrifice the possibility of getting sick to go through all of these fragrances for my own curiosity and yours. So those are the Lattafa Camras. all 3 of those. I have a couple schmoops for, what is it, Altair, I think it's called. That's a spicy one. I have Fire Your Desire and Fire on Ice and an Appletini one. Shiraf Blend, Royal Blend, and Royal Blend Sequoia. And just a hodgepodge of some other warm, spicy, or alcohol-y winter celebration type fragrances to go through with you. Most of them are Middle Eastern, but I do have some that aren't, and I am looking forward to sharing all of them with you. I even have this one that's like I think it's more of an essential oil that's a vanilla orange cinnamon to share with you that I recommend. So all of that's coming up. If you want to check them out, make sure that you like and subscribe so that YouTube knows that you want me to keep popping up and sharing my fragrance adventures with you, my cozy adventures. My cozy adventures. I just wanted to do a little bonus video today before I start my next week's content or exploration. I say content like I'm like this is a real job, but I am sort of planning out each week the themes and sort of what I want to get to. And there's a few things I want to say today before fall is over, because I feel like even though it's not officially winter until later in December, as soon as December starts, it's winter, you know? I think that's how most of us feel. So I am doing a fragrance layering that I can't remember if I talked about before, but it's been one of my favorite, I guess, discoveries, and it's not a super novel discovery. And that is this Sweet Essentials perfume oil made with organic oils in pumpkin pie. And it's a sweet and subtle spicy fragrance. So it smells like pumpkin spice, but not in any like harsh spicy way or dark spicy way. It's very just sweet. And it's so sweet that just by itself it can be almost nauseating to me. So I cut that sweetness with some coffee. And my favorite is using Amore Cafe from Mancera to spray over it, which is also a sweet, gentle fragrance. It's a very milky, sweet latte of a coffee. It really doesn't have any bitterness. It just has a tiny bit of coffee bitterness, enough to offset the pumpkin pie spice oil. And yeah, together it's just a perfect sort of subtle, because I think a lot of those fragrances can be too strong to me. Pumpkin latte smell. And I'm also trying Eternal Coffee for schmoops, or Middle Eastern coffee options. I tried Eternal Coffee and I tried Cafe Latte by Kadlaj, and they're both good. They just have a stronger coffee. Eternal Coffee, I immediately at the beginning smelled more of a cocoa smell, which was nice. And Cafe Latte by Kadlaj has a little bit of that sort of Middle Eastern additive smell that I get sometimes. And then bonus, I want to include this Fall Creek by Cirrus perfume fragrance, because it's like one of those fragrances that really gives you the experience it says it's going to give you. It really feels like walking by a fall creek. It smells like leaves and water and like fallen leaves and dirt and fresh air, but in a way that's also like a good smell. It doesn't feel dank or heavy. I really like it. I think someone included it in a package for me when I was buying samples of something else, and I really like it. So I wanted to just highlight it before fall's over. So if you happen to have access to this one, Ceres Fall Creek, I recommend as well.